Okay, and we're live with our Elder Path from the Art of Gamemastery. I'm QD20, or Jak, on the Art of Gamemastery stream, and I'm going to be covering basically quests and different aspects of Elder Scrolls from the lens of a game master, and we'll be extrapolating parts of this game and how we can convert it into quest ideas for your games. I'll also be doing critiques and looking at it from a game design perspective. So I hope you guys have some fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on our channel. It greatly helps us out. We'll be doing a show this Sunday and we'll be featuring new deity weapons or artifacts. Jon and I will be. Okay, so let's kick this off. Right off the bat, I noticed that there is a free quest to do. So, first time doing this, so I'll be walking around this area trying to figure out what to do. Bounty board? Bounties of Blackwood. Okay. Pop on my horse. Got my follower with me. If you haven't done the follower quest, I greatly recommend it. If your group is on the smaller side, I recommend having followers. It definitely complicates the game in all the right ways. Some people are going to say that having your players control multiple NPCs isn't a good idea. I can say with a lot of experience that it is way more fun. I feel like controlling multiple NPCs is a great stepping stone for players who are new to whatever game it is that you're playing. Whether you're rock and rolling with 5th edition or Pathfinder 2E. Ooh, check this out. So it looks like I have a bounty to fill. Some secret Ema's Empress took her warning seriously but refused the regain. Okay. It's the Dark Brotherhood. Ooh, I love Dark Brotherhood stuff. Those Guild of Assassins. I'll help you find them? Yes, I will. Okay, so what else can you tell me? Title is recreational. Yeah, the Empire did collapse. So you marked them on my map? Nice. The plot thickens. Someone is involved in this. Alrighty. So as I was saying about the different stepping stones, really helps a player get into the game. Well, this quest is fairly straightforward. No, it's just a quick start. This can be talk to a bunch of people. So in my experience, my players have all wanted to GM, most of them, wanted to give it a shot, especially when they see just how much fun I myself am having. I don't know, I have a lot of fun when GMing. Cart to Rock Road. I'm not going that way. Yeah, I changed my quest. Defeat a world boss, visit the striking locale. Oh, okay, I remember this stuff. There was one in... what was that area? Cragglehorn? Yeah, the last event was in Cragglehorn, wasn't it? Oh, okay. I'm excited to do the events. The events are like filler content, basically. Nothing wrong with having a bit of filler content, eh? Every now and then you have a group people who wants to play, but somebody has to drop out, can't be there. So yeah, I think it really helps people get into the game if they are controlling more than one character. And it sets up that situation where they need to roleplay with themselves. And a lot of time the GM is kind of forced into that role where they have to kind of talk to themselves. And a good player who's paying attention to that will kind of elbow in, perhaps, and try to help take away the burden on the GM for just sitting there and going back and forth like two people, a shopkeeper and an NPC bantering. And just, it's especially difficult to keep up that witty banter. And I think it really helps your party as they play as people to grow. They learn how to interact. Builds up the empathy because now they have to think about what two different people want. Why can't I talk to this guy? It says follow him. Am I supposed to be stealthy? I'm supposed to be stealthy, huh? It's a stealth quest. So one of my first players whom I encouraged to play multiple people had started off with just extra pet, and he was extremely content with having an extra pet. A boost in combat, and all the different options that they kind of felt open up to them. And then, after I had already tested that, I decided to give it a go in some of my other games, and I had just so much positive feedback come from it. One of my players was playing a rogue. This was back in 3.5, so you know this was 10 years ago? I've been GMing for a long time, it's hard to remember. Maybe 9. So about 9 years ago, and they were playing a rogue, and they wanted to run another character. So they chose a knight. I had originally said make sure to choose a character that, you know, isn't going to just be a combat follower. I didn't want them to start off, you know, having a follower since they weren't taking a feat. And this was kind of important because later on another player at the table took the follower feat when they got to level 7 and wanted to have that follower, which I was more than happy to. And so I had 2 players, one with just an extra character that wasn't a direct follower, so they had opposing belief systems. You know, a rogue was very chaotic, and the knight was very lawful good. If anybody has played the 3.5, the knight was quite an interesting variant to the fighter. Had great armor and good hit dice. Hit dice was the HP they get per level. It's kind of a shame that that fell by the wayside. One of my more favorite mechanics.
Who are you? What did you do? I told you that. You know it? I want to apologize for what happened last time.
It looks like I need to spend a perk.
What do you want?
I got perks. Alright. Who should I choose? Should I go with the intimidation or should I go with the persuasion? I'm gonna go with the persuasive will. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. Let's see how that works. I have never taken one of these feats before.
What do you want?
No, the option was intimidate only, huh? Oh, no, it's persuade. Here we go.
I'm gonna worry.
I've convinced him to stop thieving, set you on the path of the straight and narrow, which was exactly what my players were doing with the thief and the knight kind of option. He ended up being mostly a dungeon spelunker, which my opinion on rogues is that that's what they should be, not dastardly thieves constantly stealing, because that just leads to stealing from the party. So I just have left to defeat a world boss and go find a striking locale. and then this will be done. I really like this city of Blackwood. It's supposed to just be some maritime city, like it was just built haphazardly by the Empire, and the Imperials are all about just building random keeps. But this one actually has a city built around it. Leowin, great name. Built right next to the water. It's got good resources. As far as, I don't know, Elder Scrolls and their town building, they're unmatched, unequivocal. And there's a house for sale there. These bounties are great fillers. What can I say? They always make you just want to come back to them. I learned something new while playing this game. The period lesser than sign is a great way to switch to the cursor mode. Okay, good to know. Alrighty, let's go explore a locale. I've already gotten quite a few. I guess I'll head over there, huh? So as I was talking about followers, I'm in love with the followers in this game. Being able to manage their inventory, pick their skills and abilities, the leveling system, that's amazing. And in your tabletop RPG, I think having a companion, there's a strong argument for it. It's worked very well in 3.5. And I know some people are going to say 3.5 was very broken. You know, a druid or a conjurer could just wreak havoc on that game. The action economy could have used some work. Didn't bother me in the slightest, I would say personally. Really didn't bother me. As a GM, you should be able to change, alter an encounter on the fly to handle those kind of things. So if you are GMing from an old style tabletop RPG where you can summon in a bunch of creatures, or a druid can just have a zoo, then you should be able to make encounters that can kind of evenly match that. And I had a player who was playing a druid. They had 2 panthers named after their cats. It was a very big self-insert. There's nothing wrong with self-inserts. Sometimes when you're first starting to play the game, self-insert is a great way. Just like having a social media or a MySpace kind of helps you develop your own personal ego before you can really start working on empathy and feeling what another character would feel. Sometimes we got to start with the basics, which is sympathy. And there's nothing wrong with having a good center, building up the groundwork, the foundation for being able to think, what are the thought processes, what are the goals and opinions of another character. I've been an author, writer since I was a little kid, just writing stories constantly, so I've always been thinking about what other people think, and if anything, hardest time worrying about myself, right? Oh, just look at that keep in the distance. And it's all like destroyed. Attention to the detail in that. Oh man. This bandit wants some. The way that this keep has been just mowed down. It's awesome. Oh look, I won't be doing this alone. That's good news. So now I wait for the boss to respawn, which is good. Where is my follower? My follower is doing great. What level is she now? Level 10. Yeah. Got decent gear for her. Greens and blues, better than I expected. Change those greens to purples when I can afford it. So yeah, I think there's this immediate fear of, oh no, I'm going to have an extra companion at my table. How am I going to balance the encounters around it? And honestly, having an extra companion might be more than what people bargain for, because then the player is a bit more taxed. They've got to come up with this extra backstory. They need to outfit that person. And if you're using a follower mechanic, like 3.5, where at level 7 you can just take the feat for follower, I really recommend those rules about, you know, how many people based on your charisma will follow you around that are level 0 or level 1, and, you know, how high your character's companion can get, usually about 2 levels below you. I don't think it breaks the game, it just adds more complexity, and it can really help flesh out, instead of the DM, GM playing a GM, DMPC, get the players to do it. This is great when nobody wants to play a healer. I don't have that problem at my table, but I constantly hear about that problem at other people's tables. Well, it's like me personally, I love playing a healer, so whenever I'm at a table, I always play a healer, and if a healer is taken, I shoot for the tank. So in my current game, Tagasia, we've got one player who kind of had a romance in-game with a pirate. They're an alchemist, so they kind of complete each other, with the one being versatile support and the other one being kind of like a mid-range fighter. She's got attacks of opportunity and daggers, and the alchemist has, you know, being able to throw potions, Molotovs, cocktails, etc., grenades. So they kind of really help bring kind of this yin and yang. And then each character wants things differently, and so I get to throw more role-playing events at that player when I can think of, hey, what is your follower going to do in this situation, and how is, you know, your main character going to act in this situation. And so far, that has worked out greatly for the past, I want to say, 5 levels. I've had another player playing an investigator, and in addition to that, they got a Fey lady to follow them around, so that's like a knight-like class, very heavily focused with the melee all around. And they've been picking up some magic here and there. The investigator's got some pretty decent access to both potions, just right off the bat, being able to do that low level in Pathfinder. And that is it for the quest. That was pretty quick, huh? Not hard at all. So yeah, Elder Scrolls has really good companion mechanics. I'm really glad that they've introduced it to the game. If you haven't checked out Elder Scrolls, or if you have but you haven't seen the new companions, definitely recommend it. It's going to give you that Skyrim vibe that you were looking for, and I hope that you were able to take some of these thoughts, although rather meandering, and kind of how to add that into your game. If you're not sure what kind of companion to run, or if you need to do an insert for your party members, I usually look at what role is not being filled and try and fill that. And then as the party gets used to the character, they can kind of make decisions for that character. Especially if you are making a companion for your players, they should not be effective. They should be completely inadequate. It makes for a much more interesting game. If they're a higher level, it's even easier to do because they should be at a lower level. And in combat, they should definitely kind of help bring the party's focus into the fact that they're in a combat. I had in 5th edition, I had a companion to kind of help flesh out some of the roles because nobody wanted to play a healer. So I made a character who was kind of like a bard, a cleric, and a druid all in kind of one. And they only, when they did level up, it was up to the parties to decide what level they were going to take. And so their main focus was healing, and I kind of pointed out that like the options were for, you know, to do damage, to crowd control, or to be more supportive. And based on the decision that the party chose would be which class that they would take. I ended up making her like a hedge witch. Her name was Jessica, and when she was in combat, she didn't know what to do in combat. She wasn't stealing the show or the limelight. If anything, the players had to pay attention to her turn, because she would look at the party members and be like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Who's hurt? Does anybody need any healing? You know, who's the baddest enemy? I have this spell prepared. Can I use it? Who should I use it on? And the party members quickly picked up on what I was doing, and within 1-2 sessions, when Jessica's turn came around, they would all kind of vie for her attention and be like, Jessica, do this. No, Jessica, heal me. Hey, you've got a grease spell. Use it in this area. I got a Blackwood coffer. Give me the goods. Sell that. Epaulets. Alrighty. An assassin bow from my level. Yay! And some clear water. Gotta love clear water, huh? Oh, well, at least I got a little extra weapon that'll tide me over. 41, 46. Level 48 on my healer warden, stamina style. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be doing this again next Thursday. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, please don't be shy. Put them down in the bottom. Like, subscribe. Check us out on Sunday. We'll be shooting live. John and I will be covering, I think I already mentioned this, our deity artifacts. So we'll be doing some homebrew stuff. I also have some new art to announce that we have, so I'll be doing that shortly. I already showed you guys a little sneak preview of what that was going to be. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out Elder Paths, Art of Gamemastery. See you guys around. Take care. Bye-bye.